Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. We're going to get started in just 1 minute, but a couple of quick housekeeping notes off the top. This webinar will be recorded, so if you want to go back and look at any of this later or refer back to things that Jonathan said, we will send this out tomorrow sometime, as well as posting to our website. You could find old webinars on our website under Knowledge Base, Webinars and Events. If you have any questions throughout the webinar, you could put those into the questions box on your GoToWebinar module. That's usually on the right-hand side of your screen. I'll be answering some questions throughout the webinar in writing. We'll also hold some questions for the end to have Jonathan go over. And if there's anything that is really specific to your club or your membership that is not appropriate to ask for everyone, we will follow up with you after. That, I think we'll turn it over to Jonathan.
Thank you so much. So good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming. I was looking at the numbers earlier and saw how many people were registering and how many people are coming here, and you guys are just awesome. So thanks so much for coming to listen to me. I'm excited to tell you guys about this. So let's jump in. I started off here on my slides. This is me at the 2015 Boston Marathon with a couple of the guys from my running group back then, back when I was fit and fast. Those days are behind me now. Now I'm a dad, so I'm no longer fit and fast. But I have a beautiful little girl, so that's the trade-off. So a little bit about me. I'm Jonathan. I'm the lead developer for memberships, and I am a former running club president. On the right there is another shot from my old running club, the Rockland Roadrunners. We were probably about 500-ish members. We had 5 races throughout the year. This is an inter-club challenge that we held every year with a few rival clubs in the area, and this year we won it, so our proud shot with the trophy. But in that role, I was club president, I was vice president, I was race director, various committee chairs, and wore every hat imaginable. As anyone that is in a running club knows, you're always wearing different hats. And with that, I've been using RunSignup since about 2012. That's when we brought our club system over and started bringing our races over. I met Bob way back then. He actually ran in college with someone in the club, so he got us in there pretty early. So I've been using that platform and loved it. And as a software developer, I was always developing stuff against the APIs and just loved what was going on. In late 2018, Bob and I talked because they were looking for developers. So I came on board full-time just after that in 2019. So I've been here just about 5 years now as a software developer. It's been amazing. So it's, worlds colliding for me. So that's just a little bit of who I am, and I like to say all of that because I want to make sure everyone understands that this membership platform is being built by someone that has been there and has used this and kind of knows some of the pain points in our systems and other systems and wants to make something great for everyone. Part of it is for me, right? Like I want to use this as well. My running club is going to be using it. I'm using it for other stuff as well, not just running club stuff now. So I really care about this product, and I want everyone to know that you're in good hands. And I'm here to help you because helping you helps all of us. So what we'll talk about today, this is just a brief outline. I'm going to keep everything today pretty high level. Since this is brand new, we're hot off the press with this. I want to talk in very broad strokes about everything that's going on. So who's using the membership platform, an overview of it, some reporting updates. We'll talk briefly about setting up new membership organizations because that's pretty straightforward. Upgrading your club, I know that's going to be a big chunk that a lot of people want to know about. What's coming next, and questions. We'll go that way. And I'm actually, because I want to know, I'm going to throw a poll in here to see how many people here are existing RunSignup member club clients that are upgrading your club, and how many people are going to be creating a new one, because that just kind of helps me understand better where where we fall and who's going to be looking for what. But yeah, this is it. And this is, like I said, broad kind of overview. I want to kind of hit things so everyone feels comfortable with what we have and what we're doing right now and where we are, where we're going. In the coming weeks and months, there will be more deep dives into specific features. And of course, if you have anything you want to see, always reach out to us and let us know, and we can spin something up. All right, cool. So numbers look about what I thought. Looks like about 75% of people are existing, and 25%, just over 25%, are new customers. Cool. Well, thank you everyone for that. So let's jump right into it here. Okay, make sure we get this still. So who's using the membership platform? Like we've kind of been talking about, this isn't just for running clubs anymore. We want this to be more broad and open so any membership organization can use this. Like I said, I just created some for a gaming group that I'm part of locally, and it works perfectly. We're targeting things like museums and zoos and gardens, and anyone that has members. This should all work the same for. Right now, we have about just shy of 1,300 clubs using what we're now calling the Legacy Club platform. Those are active, non-deleted clubs. So the numbers in there are a little higher, but these are the ones that are real, real clubs. We've had 15 successful beta testers. There's a program we started a couple months ago. So we had 15 individuals come in and set up new membership organizations and test some stuff out and give us feedback and all of that. As of this morning, we have 44 new membership organizations. Some of those are test ones, so people just playing around, but 44 new ones and 50 upgraded clubs. So that's real. There's not real test data in there. That's 50 real clubs that went in and hit that upgrade button and are now using the membership platform. So pretty happy about those numbers. Those are growing pretty quickly, and hopefully we get to that 1,200 number really fast. That would be great. So quick overview of memberships and what it is. This is a whole new platform, and I know a lot of people they get kind of scared of that when they hear new, and am I gonna have to learn stuff? What's it gonna be? The best place to go is the blog, and I keep telling people that. We have on the screen here. This is the membership specific blog posts, but this whole system, the whole idea of this system was to be built on top of these generic components that we have across the board. So this is a list on the left of all of the generic components that we're using. So things like email v2, website builder, the store, donation engine, custom questions, all of the financials and coupons, secure access, your details, notifications, waivers. These are all the sort of things that are just these generic components across everything on the platform. You see them all in tickets today, and you see them making their way into races. If you've used something like the email marketing platform or organizational websites, they're all using the same thing. And what that does is it makes things really easy, because if you've used the ticket platform, you've used all this stuff, so you know what to do with it. If you want to learn about website builder or email, there's plenty of blogs already out there and webinars that are out there that you can go and you can learn about. So it's not something brand new that we have to create all of this new content for, and people have to learn. It's out there, and it's been working, and it's doing great things for other people. So now it just makes it available here. And on top of that, when updates are made to it, so email marketing is a great example. When updates are made to that platform, it comes right into you now in memberships. So you're staying up to date with the latest and greatest that's being done. So that's a great feature, because ticket folks will ask for something, we get it. Membership folks ask for something, tickets get it. It goes out across the board. So it keeps the features constantly building, makes them very diverse, and everyone figures out great ways to use the different features. So this is a great place to start. looking at that sort of stuff. So a lot, like I said, a lot of the old stuff that was specific to clubs, that was old and kind of, you know, old and crusty in there, that's all gone, and all of this new stuff is in there now. Of course, there is some membership specific stuff, like the way we're going to handle membership levels and that, then, you know, all of that. That's all rewritten now from the ground up, but it's going to be much better. So let's take a look at that. This is how I want everyone to visualize this, because we kind of had things confusing in the club platform. It always drove me a bit crazy with the terminology of memberships and members, and you go on that side menu and you go to your memberships, to members, to membership members, to membership members, and it gets confusing very fast. And it's hard because it's the English language. We can't really do much about it. I spent a lot of time in the beginning trying to think of other ways to denote a membership and a member, but at the end of the day, it's a membership and a member, so there's not much you could do. But we took this, and I was inspired by the way we do things with tickets, where you have a ticket purchase and you have tickets. And when I thought about it, I said, hey, you know what? That's really the same thing we're doing here. The membership is really nothing but a purchase, right? And it's like on the left here, this pink shell that we have, that's your membership purchase, and that's going to contain things like that, that are global to that membership purchase. So things like your start date, your end date, what the level is, and it's just kind of this holder, this package there that you could then take these individual members who are going to be your John, Jane, and Brian, and stick them in. So the individual members have their own name, their own address, their own email, and all of that. And they get inserted into this membership purchase. That gives you the idea then, if you have a family membership and there's an expiration date, they all expire at the same time, right? So you're kind of managing things now at a bigger level, and then an individual level. And on the right, I just included there because some of that stuff is important. The membership level contains the things like your pricing and your auto renewal and age requirements, things like that. But when we look at it this way, it's easy to then take those and stick them in, and you get, visually, this is what you're looking at. So you have, an example of an individual membership with one member in there, and that membership purchase is managed with the level as individual, and then the start date and expiration date. And same thing on the right, where we have the membership purchase, and we can just insert members into there. And I think like it's when you look at it here, it's like, oh yeah, duh, like that's that's not very hard, but it wasn't easy to conceptualize like this in the past. And I think a lot of places I've looked, it doesn't make it as clear to see that. So this was the concept that I really took moving forward into the UI and the way we do reporting and all of that. So we're calling it, there's going to be membership purchases, and they're going to contain individual members. So that feeds right into reports, which we're going to look at next. And the current reports here are the membership purchases, the individual members, expiring members, and a general search. So we're going to be able to see that shell, and then everyone that's in that shell. And you're going to see in a minute how they all kind of work well together and lead to the same place, which seems logical. And just a note here, there's going to be a lot more reporting coming over the summer. Right now, we essentially took what we had with clubs and updated it and added some more to it. They're a little better to work with, but I know there's a lot of people want some great reports, and those are going to be coming. And I want to let everyone know, don't be shy. If you have a specific report you want to see, or something in the reports, reach out to us and let us know. The more feedback we get, the better, because that helps me prioritize things and get the right reports out to you, because you're going to be using them, so I want to make sure they're useful. But a lot of love coming to those over the summer. But these reports are all built on another generic component, which is our generic reporting framework. So again, a lot of reports out there now are using this framework, and it should make it a lot easier because they're all kind of the same. They have the same kind of search and filter functionalities. You can edit columns to customize the reports. It's really easy to export and print. And two of the big things that are coming soon here are being able to save reports. So if you have a certain kind of columns or certain search parameters, you can then save those. So you can come back and reference them later and not have to build the report again. And also the ability to export to an email list, which I think is going to be super useful, especially with things like expiring members, where the idea is you could run a report for, let's say, recently expired members in the last week or the last month, and you can send them a one-off, just right there, send an email, build a list, and you can compose an email to send to them, say, hey, come back and save 10%, or create a coupon and do something like that. So those are some features that are coming soon. So membership purchases report. This is a screenshot from my local environment from testing. I really don't have a member named Ziggy Stardust, but you never know. But this is the snapshot of what we're going to see when we look at it. You can search by your first name, last name, email, membership ID, member number. If they're a member today or on a specific date, include, exclude expired members, the sort of stuff we're used to. On the bottom there, you see everyone listed out. So we're gonna get the report data that way. On the right-hand side, these are all of the columns that we can customize. So if we wanted to add or remove them, we could see all of that information in there. The report should be pretty easy to use. All of this is pretty straightforward. And this is looking at our membership purchases. So if we look at, of course, these are all individuals. I took a bad screenshot here, but these are all individual memberships. So these are all one-to-one of the purchase. But if we had a family membership in here, we would see the multiple members listed there underneath, underneath the primary member there. The star is denoting your primary member in the membership. So we would see the other members listed out there. But we just want to see here the information on that shell, right? What's the level? What's the status? What's the start date and end date and all of that kind of stuff? Because if the status is inactive, if it's canceled for everyone in there. If the membership ends on March 31st, it ends for everyone in there. So these are the sort of things we want to look at. So the individual member report is going to look very, very similar. Same kind of search fields up there. But the difference here now is we're listing everyone out individually. So we're going to see everyone there. And in a case, again, if there was like a family membership here, they would all be listed, and that membership ID would be the same going down, and we would see the level would be the same and all of that. So obviously a lot more information in here that we can show in the columns. That's just because they're an individual, so they're going to have more attached to them. So again, all of this should be pretty straightforward. Nothing too crazy here. The part I get most excited about is clicking that manage button. So in both of these reports, you see that manage button there, and they're both going to bring you to the same place, which is this membership purchase details. This was something that drove me absolutely crazy in the past. If I had to change someone's membership, say, I'm at a track workout and someone hands me a check and says, "Hey, John, renew my membership for the year." So I, hand the check to the treasurer, and I go home and I say, "Okay, I have to renew Bob Doe." So I go in and I'd always click the member, and then that's not where I need to go. I'm renewing the membership. So I go to membership, and that takes me to a different page, and I kind of bounce back and forth 100 times before I got to the right spot. And the worst thing I did was when I had to do it for myself once, and I went in and I had a family membership with my wife, and in the club system, you have to update that expiration date per member. And I forgot to renew my wife, and that didn't look good for me. So I got renewed, but my wife expired, even though we were in the same membership. So that's gone now. I'm never gonna be in the doghouse again, because now I come in here and I'm gonna see this, and visually it looks the same way, right? Where I have my membership purchase, where up top I have all of those details about that purchase. I could see the level, I could see the start and end date. If I have a family membership, I can see how many are available. And then beneath that, I have my members listed. So I would see myself and I would see my wife, and I would say, okay, there's 2 members in here. When I'm ready to edit something, I'm going to click either of these, the edit membership or edit member information. And those are both going to take me to the same page with different tabs, so it's easier to see. But in here now, I can, on the left, edit my membership purchase, and I can change that expiration date to next year, next month, whatever. And we all get updated now. So there's no chance that I can extend my own membership, but not my wife or anyone else in my family membership. So that makes things a lot easier to me. On the right side, you see the individual members. Now, if I want to edit them, I go in there and I'm getting the information that's specific to them. So again, it seems a lot more clear to me that we're just now editing individuals or we're editing the purchase. So these are some of the kind of things we're looking at with reports, trying to make things very clear, trying to make things easy to use, trying to make things error-proof so no one else forgets to renew their wife's membership. So more to come on that later, and I'm sure we'll be doing some stuff where we're doing deep dives into reports, but I wanted to give you this overview just so you conceptually have an idea of what this is all looking like and what you're going to see when you come in here after upgrading a club or creating a new one. So with that, let's look at creating a new membership organization. This is the easiest. Like I said, I'm not going to spend much time here because you don't really have any baggage, which is good. You're coming in, you're going to go to runsignup.com. You go to products and memberships, and you'll see the spot on there. The new wizard is super easy. It's super fast. There's 3 steps to it because we looked at it and said, okay, what are the basic things you need to get started and sell a membership? We're talking just real basic. And we said, okay, you need your information. We need to know what the club is, or what your organization is, your name, your address, your contact info, that sort of stuff. Second, we need a membership level. So you're going to have the opportunity here to add a membership level. You can always add it later as well. You can create it without a membership level, but to sell a membership, you need a level. So that's in there. And then payment info. So once that membership sells, we know how to pay you. So those are the 3 things you need: just who you are, what your level is, and where the money goes to. So those are the 3 steps in the membership wizard. So shouldn't take more than a couple of minutes to set up, especially if you already have a payment account. You just select the one you're already using, and it's just super fast. So like I mentioned, you go to the membership page. I know there are updates going out for the front end, so it might still be under products. It might still say clubs and memberships, and then from in there you go to memberships. But you're going to land there and see this, and that big pink button on the left is going to bring you right into that wizard to get started with the new membership organization. The big note for anyone starting new is that imports are not available yet. We're actually in development right now. So code is being written as we speak to get that in there. In the next few weeks, it will be there. So just to set that expectation, if you set up a new one and you have your dump of your from your last system or your spreadsheet you've been using, and you want to import those members, you're going to have to wait a couple of weeks. But I'm telling everyone, just go in and do it anyway, because it'll give you a couple of weeks to get in there and use the system, set up a website, do all that kind of stuff, and get comfortable. So probably the moment that about 72% of you are waiting for is upgrading to a membership organization from your existing club. You've all probably seen this lady standing up there in your club, prompting you to upgrade. And some of you have probably been a little bit nervous about accidentally clicking it, but you don't have to be. Everything with the upgrade is safe, secure, it's easy. And we're going to go over each one of these points in a slide coming up, but there's no chance for data loss. We're going to talk about what will be there once you upgrade, what will not be there once you upgrade, and then accessing that content, which we're calling legacy content, that isn't showing there. So everything's going to be there. There's some features that don't carry over one-to-one. There may be some learning that has to be done, but there's no chance you're going to lose any data, especially the important stuff, your members, your memberships, your pricing, your levels, all of that kind of stuff is going to come over easy cheesy. And I don't even like saying come over, because it's actually not going anywhere. And that's what we're going to look at here. So this is going to be, I want to talk a little bit about the technical aspect of it, but I don't want to talk in technical terms. So I'm trying to make this pretty high level. I think it's easy. I think it's easy to look at and get. So right now, if we imagine this, this database here is all of your club data, right? All of the club data in the system is we'd be sitting in these various database tables, like your members and your memberships and how they're related, and tying to the levels with the pricing and the expiration date, right? All of this complexity in there. But on the right, like, this is really what we're looking at. Things like your club information, logo, URLs, memberships, old and new, all of your levels and pricing, right? This stuff is all just kind of sitting there in the database. So this stuff is doing a good job. When we looked at this originally and we were talking about the new platform, we said, hey, these database tables, there's nothing wrong with them. They're really solid. They're doing the right thing. They've kind of stood the test of time. Let's not mess with it. Let's kind of leave a lot of that there where it is. So that's essentially what's happening. So something like, if you have John Doe, who's a member and has been a member, for 10 years, and you have his whole history there, none of that's moving, none of that's going anywhere. That's going to be sitting in that same database table. So there's no chance that you're going to lose him. What we did instead was we said, okay, we want to add all of this stuff onto the club data. So we kind of drew this this bigger system around it. That's the membership organization. And what I'm trying to visualize here is that your club data is still there. We're just kind of adding this stuff around it so we can kind of interact with it better and do more with it. So if we want to grab John Doe, we know he's still there, but now there's going to be a layer on top of him that lets him interact with stuff like your email marketing V2, so you can get him into a contact list, and you can, now you can get him into, see him in a ticket event, and kind of have all of that stuff there. So we have this like wrapper that's around it, and in essence, that's what the membership organization is. So on the right there, we're looking at that club data is all still there, right? It's still hanging out there doing what it's always done. But now on top of it, we have these things that are like generic website and a donation interface and a store interface. And these are things that, you guys never see, but I look at all of the time. And it just makes it possible for us now to do a whole lot more with all of that club data. So it works out nicely because nothing's moving. We're just kind of adding stuff in there. And when you click that upgrade button, what's happening is we're looking at, we're taking your club and we're saying, okay, what are all of these things that we need to create in order to make this wrap fit in? So like we have here, we need a generic website. Let's create that for you automatically. Let's create some variables so now you can interact with the donations interface. Let's create some of this so you can interact with the store and use stuff in a warehouse and all that kind of stuff. So we just kind of hit the list of going down, and we're really creating things around the data. So, at one point we were calling it a migration, and we realized, well, we're not migrating anything. Nothing's moving. It's truly an upgrade where your data is staying in one spot, and we're adding, adding this world around it so that it can interact with everything else. So once you upgrade with that in mind, what will be there? And I put this screen on the right. This is what you're going to see when you click that upgrade button. So you're not going to just right away upgrade. You kind of get this warning first to make sure you want to come in and do it. But what will be there is all of that basic information. So your club information, your logo, URLs, any short URLs you were using, all of your members, all of your memberships, all of your levels, all of your pricing, all of your history. Any member number settings are going to come right through, and it'll know where you left off, because again, none of that's changing. Your club directors come over. If you have a custom waiver, that comes over. All of your payment account stuff and sales tax settings and transaction history, all of that comes over. So all of that core stuff, that will all be there, front and center right away. All of the important stuff. You hit upgrade, you go right into one of those reports that we looked at. You're going to see everyone right there. What will not be there? So custom website content is a big one. That's anything that you set up in that wizard, or if you created custom menus, that will not be coming over automatically. Donation settings, so if you have donations enabled, that will not be coming over, but that's a simple one. You just have to go in and to donations and turn it on. That's really straightforward. Email marketing V1. So any of the email marketing in clubs will not be coming over, because that's all of the old stuff. So we're using email marketing V2 in there. So that's your settings, your templates, any custom lists, draft or sent emails will not be brought over. Any coupons you have and any store stuff you have, those won't be coming over. And non-director club access. This one I just want to point out because it's a little different. We have in clubs the ability to add access to the club for people that are non-directors, and they're kind of like older kind of custom settings for like the ability to edit a member or do very specific things. So those are not coming over just because they don't line up with the security stuff we do now. So all directors, anyone that's listed as a director, will come over 100%. Anyone that has those like kind of partial access will not come over. They'll have to be set up again. And those are the access for that is being built up. So right now it's only director and non-financial access, but more of that's going to be coming in. If you're not sure if something's going to come over or not, and it's important to your organization, email us and ask. It's better to ask than to upgrade and say, oh shoot, where is that feature that I always used? So please, don't be shy. Feel free to ask us. If you're not sure, the kind of rule of thumb is anything being updated to a new generic component will need to be set up again. So again, we're going from email marketing V1 to email marketing V2, the old donation engine to the new donation engine, old websites to website builder. So they don't match up, right? Then that's kind of why we're going through this, where we have to set things up again. So we want to bring it over to the new, but we're going to need to do some manual intervention there. Legacy content. So you can rest assured that none of that's lost. So your custom website content, your questions, donations, all of that, it's not going anywhere. You don't hit upgrade and we delete everything. It's there, it's staying there. You're going to see in your membership organization, if you upgrade, you'll see this menu item on the left for legacy content. That's going to be there for a while, at least through 2024 and into 2025. The idea is we want to have this there for you, so you can go in and you can click that legacy website content and copy and paste. Have two windows open and copy and paste it in. If you have custom questions, things like that, it'll be there, so you can copy and paste them and bring everything in and set things up the way you had it. You will not be able to save changes to your to those fields in the old club. In fact, the old club is really doesn't exist anymore. Like you'll notice once you click that upgrade button, My Clubs, it goes away, but you'll have a new item in your profile menu for My Membership Organizations, and you'll see it there. So it's no longer a club once you upgrade. It's a membership organization, but you can go back and access that stuff and bring it over. Don't feel rushed, especially if you're upgrading sooner rather than later. You're going to have the most amount of time, so we won't get rid of things until we're sure that that no one's using it anymore and everyone's comfortable with what they have. If you do need help copying some of that data over, if you have a lot of stuff or you're not sure, especially with website builder and stuff, if you haven't used it before, if you watched a couple webinars and you're still confused, reach out to us. Contact your account manager or send an email to info@, and we'll be happy to help you get that set up or show you kind of how things should come over. That's not an issue. We don't want you to go at this alone. So hopefully that helps everyone kind of feel comfortable with the upgrade process. Again, you're truly upgrading. Your core information, your core data isn't going anywhere. You're going to come right over. You're going to have everything here. All of your core information is going to be there, and you're just going to have a few things to set up depending on what you're using in there. This is normally the time I would ask if anyone has questions, so I'm hoping people are filling up the questions so we can do some good ones at the end here. And I'm almost done, so that'll be good. We'll have plenty of time for questions and to talk about it a bit. So development. So I wanted to put some of this in here just so you guys know what we're working on, and this is current as of today. What's in progress and what's coming up, and kind of gives you a little window into what's there and what's not there. Pretty much, I mean, with regards to clubs, I know some people have asked, is everything going to be there that I'm using in clubs today? The question is just about yes. Right now, the only big thing that's missing in that transition is accepting donations while you register. You can make standalone donations, that's all there, but the donations in the purchase path of buying a membership, that's going to be coming in the next probably the next few weeks or next month. So that's the big thing that's missing, but pretty much everything else should be there. There's some old features within clubs that we're not bringing over, so some of that will be missing. Notably, things like the club officers that you fill out in the wizard that we do nothing with, that's not coming over, that sort of feature. We have like an old running log in there that I don't think is really used anymore by anyone. That's not coming over. Certain things like that, just kind of like legacy features that are retiring to go enjoy their time in the sand, in the sun. But everything else is there, and you can see back to this slide what's going on right now. Additional notifications are being put in, so those should be one-to-one very shortly, and some additional ones with things like auto renewal failures and reminders and stuff. Those are in there. Some updates to some reports, some constantly putting in website components so we can show custom content on the website builder for clubs. Doing lots of UX updates with our great UX team. Darren's helping out with that a lot. So those are constantly rolling out. Imports is on the list now. Things like members only pages. These are all in development now, and everything on that left-hand side will be out in the next probably couple of weeks. I'd say in the next 2 weeks or so. Everything on the right side then is going to quickly fill those gaps. So donations is the big one. That's one I'll be taking on after the calculated store items, which I'm working on now. A lot of the import stuff and auto linking accounts, that's all coming as soon as imports are done. More report updates, things like that. So, and more website components and such, and membership cards and Apple Wallet, which is going to be great. So this is the immediate snapshot. Like, this is literally the month of April, and there's probably going to be more coming into that on deck side. So this is kind of, there's more of a bigger picture of how we're road mapping this for the rest of the year. Q2 are the things we just kind of talked about. A lot of that stuff is those are the important items. There's more on the list, but these are the important ones we want to knock off. Q3, the self-serve, so that kind of portal, that's going to be a big focus. Signing up for 2 clubs at once. allowing director approval of new members. So, if someone registers, we've had a lot of people ask for having the director approve them to be part of the club. And analytics and reporting, like I mentioned earlier, a lot of love coming to that over the summer. And going into into the winter, into Q4, like, some of this stuff is a lot looser because who knows what's going to happen between now and then and how priorities change and how people are using it. But that's kind of the view of what we have there of what we're imagining by the end of the year that we're working on. And you'll notice that kind of as time goes on, these features are becoming more and more pie in the sky kind of features. These things we've been talking about and dreaming about for years are now coming to life, and they're going to be coming in there. And that's what I'm really excited about, because up until this point, it's been kind of recreating what we had with clubs, and and then some, and making it better and making it easier to use and making it more solid. But once we have that foundation, now we can really build these new features on top of it, and that's going to be the really exciting stuff. Because, like, what we've done up to now is just set ourselves up for success, right? So, and when I say us, I mean all of us as clubs. So we have this new kind of foundation that we can now build all of this stuff on, and we get access to all of this stuff. So I've been saying that last year for me was the foundational year of building this really strong, solid foundation of what memberships is going to be. And this is the year of maturity. So we have this solid foundation and this new product, and now it's time to nurture it and let it grow and let it mature into something that's truly amazing. So that's really the focus of 2024, is to get this, we're starting slow, but we're going to ramp up, just kind of let this thing go and get all of these new features in there. So it's going to be really, really exciting. In the corner here, to me, very important, how to request features, report any issues you see. Like I said before, contact your account manager, send in an email to info@. Everything pretty much comes back to me anyway, but I like to see this stuff. This is what determines what we're going to do. I don't sit in a black box and decide this is what we're doing, this is going here, this is going to happen this way, and we're doing this thing next. I make my plan based on what I think is going to be best for everyone, but everyone is out there using it. And if I think, oh, this feature isn't going to be very popular, but in the coming weeks, I keep getting emails saying, hey, I really want this feature, this is going to be the best, I'm going to say, hey, you know what, I was wrong. So let's bump this down and move this up, because people are really excited about this and they're going to want that. So let's get them what they want, and let's get people using it, faster. So your input really, really matters, because it's going to drive the priorities. It's going to drive when we do things and how we do things. Again, with reporting is a big one. I want to be able to go in and click this and see this. Great, now I have requirements for a new report. So I want to hear that stuff. So do not be shy. Please let us know what you're looking for. And whatever you're most excited about, what's going to benefit you the most, what's going to help your club excel and succeed out there. I want to give you the keys to that car so you guys can go and do everything you need. So that's kind of where we are for the rest of the year. There is a link on the bottom here that was put out earlier this year that shows the general roadmap of 2024. It's a little bit out of date now already, because this is back in January, but you can kind of see a lot of the features that are in there that we're thinking about. So go take a look at that and get excited about some of them. And if you see anything that's not there, let us know. And again, if you see something in Q4 that you really, really want, let us know, and maybe that'll come out sooner. And this thing will evolve, but it's good to take a look at that. So with that, I think I'm doing pretty good with time. I wanted to leave about 15 minutes for questions, and I think I've just about nailed it. I don't have a clock out in here because of this slideshow, but I think I just about nailed it. So that's what I got. So Johanna, what do you have for me?
We have a lot of questions, so we're going to get through as many of them as we can. For some of those that are a little more complicated, or just if we run out of time, I promise we will go through this list and get back to everyone this afternoon or tomorrow with answers. But to kind of start jumping in, Jonathan, is the API going to change?
So yes and no. Next, no. the, generally, so the club API that's there does not change. So if you're using the API to access your members, your club information, any of that stuff, that will all still work. There's going to be no changes to that. I say yes because we're going to build on top of it. So eventually we're going to be adding more endpoints and more functions that you could be calling. So you can be getting more data out of there and do more with it. The kind of we've had a few so far where people have reached out to me with specific questions on the API that are kind of like gotchas. So one of them was questions. So some people were pulling their club members out of the API and grabbing those questions that they answered. That will break because those questions are no longer being used. So we're going to be building new API endpoints for the generic questions so that it can be updated so you can get your member and tie it back and pull from that API to get the questions. There was another one too that recently came up like that. Shoot, I wish I could remember it. If I remember, I'll bring it back up. But certain things like that, where it's old stuff, the older kind of stuff that's coming through won't be there. But we're going to make updates that you can update your side to get the information from other API endpoints.
Is there a deadline to upgrade, and what happens if we don't upgrade?
Yeah, so right now there's no deadline. We're putting it out there and we want to make sure everyone's comfortable to upgrade. Like I said, that legacy content stuff is going to stay there through and through. So there's no line in the sand yet. There will be eventually. My guess is probably sometime end of the year into the beginning of next year. If you don't upgrade by that point, we'll wind up going through and auto upgrading everyone. But if you've worked with us before, you know how we do it. We're not going to just blindside you. We will make sure that everyone's comfortable and any needs that aren't met are addressed by then. So example, those API endpoints. If you need those questions and you need that new API endpoint and you need to update your stuff and we need 2 months to get that out and then you need 2 months to do that, we're going to work all that into it to make sure that you're ready when we do it. We don't want to leave anyone behind, so don't fret about that. But it's not too soon to start thinking about how you're going to use it. And even if you're scared, if you don't want to update right away, go and create a new one and just play around with it and just throw it away afterwards. But just so you get a feel for the system, so you feel more comfortable going into it.
Will we need a new link for our membership sign up, or do we still, or will our old one still work?
Yep, everything will still work. So everything's redirected. So you don't have to update anything.
In reporting, is there a report that will be for expired memberships versus expiring, so we know who has recently expired versus who is coming up?
Yeah, so right now that the expiring members report that's in there does both of those things. So you can set the date and you can kind of manipulate it to show you who's going to be expiring soon and who's recently expired. But that's one of the ones that I want to break out and kind of do more with. So that will mature during the summer and be better. And whoever asked that question, please let us know if there's any specifics you want on that, because that's one of the reports that I know a lot of people ask about and use, and I want to make sure we nail that.
Also on reporting, is there any capability or any future capability to sort without exporting?
Not right now. That will be coming. I'm not sure when. That's part of that generic reports framework. So I know that's been on the radar for a bit for tickets. I'm not sure when that's going to fit into the timetable, but it is going to be coming at some point.
One more reporting one for now. Will our year-to-date financial information transfer over?
Yep, all financials are untouched. That'll all still be there.
We have some members who pay by check. How will that work with the system?
Yeah, so that's going to be imports. So In a couple of weeks, that'll be there. It's going to work the same way you do it now, where you're adding, you're technically importing one member. So it's gonna be that same kind of experience, as the import will be there for CSV, for bulk imports, but also individuals. Like I mentioned, that's in development now, so that'll be ready in a few weeks. But it's going to be a lot better. It's going to be really cool, and we're kind of trying to. I'm just going to elaborate on this a little more. We're trying to get rid of that claim account situation where when you add someone, you have to send them the claim account email and they come in and claim it. So if I hand you a check and you insert me or you import me manually, we're going to contact match. So we're going to say, based on my first name, last name, email, date of birth, all that. Oh, Jonathan already has a RunSignup account. That's now his membership. So it'll be a lot easier. Of course, there's still going to be situations where someone doesn't have an account or we can't match. So we're still going to have the claiming, but this should reduce it big time. And that's always been a headache for me. So I can't wait to get that
out. Notifications. It didn't look like they were on either the list that comes over or the list that needs to be manually updated. What's the status on notifications?
Yeah, so notifications are using a new notification system. So they're going to be, most of them are standard, but yeah, if you have custom notifications, you'll have to set those up again. Like if you have custom text in there, I believe. I want to double check that one. So Johanna, if you could send me whoever had that question, I can follow up.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it doesn't come over, and you'll have to set it up again.
What happens for a membership auto renewal when we migrate existing club members over? How do they get set up for auto renewal, and will they need to re-enter their payment information?
Yeah, that's a great question. So auto renewal is a new feature, so it's by default turned off for everyone. So when people come over, that'll be turned off. We don't have the self-service portal ready yet, so they won't be able to go into opt into it. The first chance that someone will have to enable auto renewal is when they renew or if they join. So once you upgrade, you'll have to go into your membership level and you'll enable auto renewal there and set up how you want it to work. And that's probably a whole topic for another webinar. But you'll turn it on, and then once you turn it on, when someone goes through the registration path, they'll see the message to opt in to the auto renewal. So they'll have to do it that way. We can't go in and automatically turn it on for people because it's something they have to agree to because it's charging their credit card. So for now, it will be at renewal time, or when they join, they'll be able to opt into it. But once the self-service portal is ready, clubs can send out an email blast saying, hey, if you want to opt in for auto renewal, go here, and they'll see it in their profile and be able to turn it on, turn it off, change the credit card, see the status, all that kind of stuff.
What happens if you have discounts for races set up for your current club? What happens to those discounts when you upgrade to a membership?
Yeah, absolutely nothing. Those should still work perfect. They're all tied to the ID of the club, so those should all still be good. And if you're putting on the race page, asking people to join, that'll still work. All that kind of stuff. The only addition is with the membership organization, you'll be able to give race discounts per membership level. So you can still give that broad discount, say $5 off for club members, but you can say seniors get $10 off, if they're part of that level. Youth get $20 off, that sort of thing. So just more, not less.
Will there be any kind of attendance or check-in feature with memberships?
Yep, that's going to be coming soon too. Once we get so we're already talking about it. We were talking about it yesterday with the race day team, setting up requirements for that. So that Apple Wallet was on the list for what's coming in the next couple of weeks. that's kind of the start to it, because once we get that membership card in the Apple Wallet, then that gives the check-in team an ability to add membership check-in. So you can do it that way, and that's going to be fun. And I was talking to Bob earlier today about it, and one of the cool things we want to do is add in self check-in, which I think can be really useful. So if you're going to like a track workout or a group run, you don't necessarily need a club leader there scanning people's membership cards in, but people, if you're in your car before the group run, you can just kind of check in and say I'm here, and put your phone in the glove compartment and go out and run. But that way the club, the club director knows, okay, we got 12 people, 10 are here, these 2 are missing. You can call them, or just they'll catch up, whatever. So long-winded answer for that, but yeah, that's all coming.
Will links to images that are stored by RunSignup and custom content on the old club platform still work?
That's a good question. They should, because they're all they're all stored up on an S3 bucket. So I would think that they will work, probably till a point that they don't work. There may be a time, and I don't know for certain, but there may be a time in the distant future where that stuff is cleaned out from the database. So it's probably, regardless, if you're using Website Builder, it's better to upload the image again. Just kind of save it on your desktop and upload it again, because you'll be able to do more with it in Website Builder that way. But if you're linking to it from somewhere else, the link should work for the foreseeable future.
Looking for anything else that's significantly different. When you are editing a membership, is there a way to add a member?
Oh, yep, that's in there. It's just a simple form. When you're in that, let me bounce back real fast. Okay, so I got these open. So right in here, right in the middle, there's the add member button. So if you have available, if it's a multi-person membership and there are open slots, you would just click that and add the person in. And again, that's going to be in the coming weeks. When you add that, if you were to add me, we're adding that update so it'll check and match. So once I'm added, I don't have to claim anything, and I could just log into my RunSignup account and see that membership in there. So that's going to be a lot better too.
We have a Run Club where we charge a one-time fee per year, and we've just set that up as a RunSignup race. Will this give us more than what we currently get through the race setup?
Yeah, absolutely. That'll work, but you're going to get more specific stuff here, and you're going to be able to to kind of do more membership specific stuff, and it's going to have better tentacles out into the rest of the system for when you want to use, you can use stuff for race discounts and all that, and if you have ticket events, that stuff, and email marketing and contact lists. So it would be, it'd be better to set it up on the membership side.
I have a few questions in different formats for this, but essentially, is there any functionality to integrate a calendar for events into your club membership website?
Oh yeah, that's coming. That's going to be just a website component. So there's coming probably in the next couple of months to show like race lists or ticket events, anything like that. So that's the beauty of Website Builder.
I think that's it that that applies to the whole group. There are a lot of questions here that I know that we haven't answered, but I promise we'll pull a full list and get back to everyone. But a lot of these are more specific to your individual club, or we want to go into a little more detail. So I think that should be it, Jonathan.
Yeah, and I just want to mention real fast too, while answering some of those questions, that there's upgrading the club, and especially if you have some custom content that you need to bring over. I want to make sure everyone kind of feels the advantage you're getting from that. So, if you have custom website content and questions and such, if it takes a couple of hours to bring that over, just being able to answer almost all of the questions with yes, that's coming, yes, that'll be there, yes, that's coming, because of Website Builder, because of email and all that, that you can really see the the advantage you're going to have, and really everything that's going to come to you. And it's just the walls are just going to open with what you can do with this. So it's definitely going to be worth it long run. And really excited to get everyone up there and using it. And thank you for coming, and we will, we'll talk to you and get questions answered and help people upgrade and, bring this thing to the moon.
Awesome. Thank you, Jonathan, and thank you everyone for coming.
Hey, thanks for watching that video. If you want to click the thumbs up button, you can do that and like the video. And also subscribe to the channel. That way you can see more tips that we have for you and get to know our developers and other people at the company.
And see how my forearms are progressing as I enter fatherhood.
So riveting stuff. You're going to want to subscribe.